There are strange things done in the midnight sun by those men that toil for gold. The Arctic trails have seen queer tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold. But the Lord of Gold seemed to hold him like a spell, and he used to say in his gruesome way, "Well, I'd sooner live in down there." On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of the cold, through the parka's fold it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, till the lashes froze, and sometimes we could not see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. That very night, as we laid packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe. He turns to me, and says he, "Blah, blah. I'll cash in this trip, I guess. But if I do, I'm asking you not to refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. And he says in sort of a moan, "It's in the cursed gold, and it's got right hold till I chill clean through the bone. Yet 'tain't being dead. It's my awful dread of an icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, and I swore I would not fail. We started at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh, he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Well, there wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid. I could not be rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "Y'all may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate these here last remains." Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, and the huskies round in a ring, how ooh, out their woes to the homeless snows. My God, how I hated that thing. And every day, that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow, but on I went. Though the dogs were spent, and the grub was getting low, and the trail was bad, and I felt half mad. But I swore I would not give in. And I often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and in it a derelict lay. It was jammed in the ice. I saw a trace. It was called the Alice May. I looked at it, and I thought a bit. And I looked at my frozen chum. Then, said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. And the furnace roared, and the flames just soared. Such a blaze you seldom see. And then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal and stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the huskies howled, and the heavens scowled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks. I don't know why. and the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I don't know how long I lay in the snow, wrestling with grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about. Here again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peek inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked. And the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, and you could see a mile, and he says, can y'all please close that door? Why, it's warm in here, and I greatly fear you're gonna let in the cold and storm. Why, since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, oh golly, man, it's the first time I've been warm. Now there are strange things done in the midnight sun by those men that moi for gold. The Arctic trails have seen queer tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam